City Hospital, Sussex, Worthing and Southland Hospital. Please be aware you will be required to wear a surgical mask in our hospital. If you know the 5-digit extension you require, please enter it now. If not, please hold for the first available operator. Please wait while I transfer your call.
Just on a secret call. I'm keeping you all in suspenders. Can you see me?
Worthing Hospital, Tricia speaking.
Hello, Tricia. Yeah, I was wondering if you can put me into the right person. Do you have a CEO, a media department, or a press office, or a manager that I might be able to speak to? Can I speak to somebody in a press office?
Communications Girl speaking.
Oh, hiya. Sorry, what was your name?
Galda.
Galva.
Galda.
Gelda.
Galda. Y-A-L-D-A.
Yelda.
Yes.
Right, Yelda. Yeah, I've been passed on. Sorry?
Are you from St George's?
No.
Sorry.
No. That is Worthing Hospital, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been passed on some information from the Press Association
Oh yeah.
regarding something that happened at Worthing Hospital last week. And I'm a freelance journalist. And I was wondering if there's anybody to give a story on the refusal of treatment to a patient called David Swift last week. He was refused treatment at the hospital, and they even released him without even taking his cannula out of his hand. And also, I was just wondering if there's anybody would like to add anything to it. Or if we can come down and do some filming outside the hospital, and if there's anybody who wants to come on record to do an interview on record, which will go worldwide, and also go out to America, Texas, Killeen in Texas, and we have links in Texas, which will send it to Russia and all over the world. And I was wondering if anybody would like to come on record and do an interview about your non-treatment of patients free at a point of delivery in an NHS service who've paid their contributions all their life, and they was refused treatment at Worthing Hospital last week. So I was wondering if there's anybody available. As I say, this story's been passed on to me, and I was wondering if there's anybody who would like to add comment.
Thanks for the explanation. So I will. I mean, do you know whether there's been a formal complaint made by the patient?
Yes.
Okay, so our PALS team should be aware of it. Let me.
which was a nightmare because I've even tried myself to get in touch with pals, and you get sent all around the sun and moon. So I've done a bit of homework and done a bit of research into this myself, because I don't know if you're aware, there are some videos that are out already on the internet, and we've picked up this story, and we was wondering if Worthing Hospital. What is your stance then on? I didn't think that a hospital could refuse a patient treatment. Is that correct?
I'll need to check to see if any of this is like what the situation is. I actually don't know anything about this. So
But do hospitals usually refuse people treatment?
like I said, I'm just going to have to check this. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know if a patient's violent or if they're, you know.
No, the patient wasn't violent because
No, I don't know.
the patient wasn't violent.
How
And there is also something else out there in the internet where the receptionist was claiming that the patient was bullying as well, and the guy never even said a word because he records all these videos that he does,
okay.
and he recorded it, and there was no such remark, and there's proof and evidence out there that proves contrary to everything that's gone on. And it's become quite a bit of a story. So we were wondering what Worthing's stance is on this.
Okay, well let me do some digging.
Yep.
And see what I can get. Can you send me the detail? Can you send me in an email just his just a patient's name?
Yeah, I'll give you the patient's name. It's David Swift.
Swift. Okay.
David, David Swift, Swift.
For an age or anything?
Yeah, he's about 60 years of age.
Okay. All right then.
And he was refused. I'll tell you what, I'll go into a little bit more because you've been pretty fair with me. You've been very calm and relaxed and spoke to me quite decently. And listen, it's not a conspiracy theory or anything too untoward. What I'm trying to do is get to the bottom of this and find out why the National Health Service is refusing to treat patients. So we want to get to the bottom of it, and probably you do yourselves. Why was he released with, and if it all boils down to, and this is the crux of what I'm going to say to you, if it all boils down to him refusing a swab test, right, which is a medical procedure in itself, and the most important thing what we're talking about here is consent, because when you ask somebody for a DNR, it's consensual, right? So you know where it lines I'm going along.
Yeah. So there's a swab, there's presumably a COVID swab involved here that the patient was refusing.
Well, he. I don't know if refusing is the right word, but at the end of the day, it should have been consensual. I think the word we're looking for is consensual, not refusing. I think you're putting a word out there that is not. Yeah. But I don't think. I think if it should be down to choice, and a lot of the paperwork that patients sign when they're in hospital is of their own free will, giving hospitals consent to do whatever.
Can I double check? Let me just get your details as well, just so I have everything. You said you got you're a freelance journalist.
Yes, I am.
You're freelance. What's your name?
My name is Dong.
Can you spell that, please?
D-O-N-G. I'll get a Mickey taken out of me because some people call me Ding.
Okay.
And it's Trevor Dong.
I've got a phone number here that's coming up as 01507. Is that the best number?
That's it. Yeah, you can call me on that number. And I'll email you other information if you give me an email address as well.
Yeah, okay. So if you write this down,
YALDA.
dot
JAVADI. ADI
at nhs.net.
at nhs.net. Right, if I email you something and you get back to me as well, and then if we do it all by email, because it might be easier, and then we can correspond by electronic device, and then we can get an interview arranged for us to come down with a camera crew and a reporter.
Let me just do some digging first, and then I'll get back to you with what we're gonna, our response is.
I actually think he's in hospital now. He ended up having to call a week later from, it was last Wednesday it happened. And he had to go, I think, this Wednesday, I believe it was, or Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. He had the same problems, because what it's boiling down to, he's got to have his stent put in one of his arteries, because his arteries are blocked. And he used what he went through the normal procedure of phoning an ambulance because he had chest pains, and was taken to hospital. And as I say, there's evidence of ongoings at Worthing Hospital that's brought the light to why we're having this conversation today.
You think he's actually received, so that it's not, he is actually receiving treatment?
I don't know if he's receiving treatment. He was refused treatment last week, right? But he's in hospital now. He's in Worthing Hospital as we speak.
You're asking about the time, specifically why he was refused?
Yes.
Absolutely. And then can I just ask, did David come to you himself, or where was this?
No, well, we picked up the story, and it's been passed on to us through different media sources.
Oh, okay, all right.
Different media sources have passed the information on there, and we've done some digging and researching ourselves, and we found a lot of information that's actually on the internet now regarding your hospital, and it doesn't bode very well for Worthing Hospital as I speak.
And these are the videos and things you were talking about?
It's all on the internet.
Okay, well, let me do a bit of digging, Trevor, and we'll see if I can get a response.
Okay, no problem at all. Thank you very much for your time.
Hang on, have I got your email address, or will you email me?
Now, I'll email you. I've got your details. I'll email everything to you. You've got my number anyway. So I'll email you, and I'll prefer to do it all by electronic device.
Cool, that sounds good.
I think the office would like to do it that way as well, because then we've got actually recordings in writing of what we do and what we say. Okay, thank you ever so much for your time. Bye. There you go. So that was something, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, in doing what I've just done. I've used this format before with the police and other councils, especially when it came to the abuse I received and trying to get proof, not so much proof, but the other side to recognise a wrongdoing. So I've done this for the guy that's there, who's paid his contributions all his life, and so if the NHS want to reimburse him, let's put it that way, of 42 years or 40 years of him paying national health contributions because they refused him treatment. And the NHS isn't about refusing treatment and leaving cannulas in people's arms and then putting them through medical procedures without consent. And the swab, whatever anybody says, is a medical procedure. I don't care what anybody says. It's a medical procedure. So I've done that just to see what happens and if it helps the guy's cause, because now, frantically, behind the scenes, things will be happening in Worthing Hospital, trust me. Something will be going on. They'll be getting in touch with the CEO and all them people and all the managers. They'll be rallying around. They'll be sitting around an oval table later on talking about this. And this woman, YALDA Hyundai, will be panicking like fuck. And something will be done now. So so Clive and a few other people and a few veterans can see that we are trying to help David. And don't take it wrong, guys. It's anything untoward. is trying to get David the best for what he's actually paid into. So at the end of the day, he's a citizen, should be entitled to free at the point of delivery service by the NHS. Thank you guys.